Sup peeps? Been a while. My name's Ian. I sell books on eBay. Has been a while. Injury. Did my neck or my shoulder or something. I haven't been able to do much other than like a few minutes at a time for the last, nearly a week. So, can't really make a video if I can only function for a couple of minutes at a time and then have to go away and scream into a pillow. Anyway, seems better this morning, so we've got a few orders to get packed up and just cover a few things. Completely fell away from my planned schedule for what the videos were going to be, but we'll get back on track and see what we can do for this week. So, today is Wednesday, the something of October. Don't know, maybe the 4th, maybe the 5th. I think it's maybe the 4th. And we've got a few bundles of books to go out, a couple of non-book items going out as well, and we'll maybe have a wee chat about that book I've been reading, see what I really thought of Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Anyway, let's get some stuff packed up first because that's really what I'm here to do. First up, grab a bag because we've got a shirt to post. So I used to sell everything. I'm really on a roll today. Everything's just like collapsing. Yeah, I used to sell everything, but selling clothes and stuff really didn't like it. Well, I've still got a couple of hundred items to clear out. Other things, other bits and pieces. When I see them, I'll still pick them up if they've got proper value. But it was difficult to consistently source what I really needed to get everything done. Just turn you around a wee bit so I can see you. So I don't make a huge effort to grab other things. Although money wise it's much better to sell everything than just books. But that's not a sustainable business. Because if I can't find stuff, I can't sell stuff. So books continue to be my main focus. Anyway, this shirt weighs 300 grams and it is going to CR7. The other thing that's changed over the last week is for a week or so, another couple of days yet, there's a bit of a deal if you use Yodel or Every. So that's what I've been doing. But it means that you've got to take a wee bit more time getting the sizes of parcels and everything for inputting the data. It takes a little bit longer than if you just do it through Royal Mail. But at the moment it's massively cheaper. You know, it's like an extra £15-20 a day that you're saving. So I'm going to go with that until it gets more expensive again, which is only a couple of days away. Anyway, that's that shirt done. What have we got next? We've got a bundle of Harry Potter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. I've added a new promotion. So still got my buy 2 get 1 free, buy 3 get 2 free, but I've added in an additional level, layer, whatever you want to call it, so that try and get that as even as I can. If people are buying 2 books, they'll get 10% off. If they buy 3 books, they get 30% off. If they buy 4 books, they get 40% off, which for me is not as good a deal as just buy 2 get 1 free, etc. But just try to encourage as many sales as possible. If I make 20 pence less on a book but sell 5 more books, that still works out fine for me because I can get you know, still get, there's more books out there, even just locally, that I can pick up that I can't actually buy at the moment. So quite happy to take a little bit less, but get more stock flowing through is the plan. So quite a few going through on the 40% off end. A few more double sales, but nothing significant so far. So we'll continue to tweak the offers, the promotions, everything else to keep finding what works best at any given time. A week or so ago, I turned off all my promotions. Not my promotions. Yes, my promoted listings. Not my promotions, but my promoted listings. And I had a lot fewer views, obviously, but it didn't actually affect sales. I still sold the same, only they were nearly all organic sales, so I made more money. But then that died off. After a couple of days I turned them all back on and it picked back up again, and now it's died off again. So I don't know what the issue is around that, but it's quite frustrating that it doesn't seem to make much difference having promoted listings on or off to make money, which doesn't really make any sense. This is going to UB9. What the heck's that? That's a new postcode. So I'm going to keep seeing what can be done with that to try and find something optimal. So third measurement, my third measurement, 14 centimetres high. So there goes Harry. Right. Next up, we have The Discarded by Brett Battles. Don't know if anyone's heard of it. Seems to have written a few. Jonathan Quinn novels. This one's going to NR31. So we'll get it wrapped up and bagged up, ready to post. Yeah, the whole promoted listings thing is very irritating. There's always that risk when you changed them, it seems to kind of shut off your listings for a good few hours. So if you are going to keep changing them up, when's the best time to do it so that you don't actually like completely screw up all your sales? I don't know. The platform is what the platform is. Without it, I wouldn't be selling anything, so I can't really complain. But it would be nice to actually have the sales reasonably consistent. Know they go up and down. You know, that's the nature of all kind of retail. You'll have good days, you'll have bad days, but the extremes are so wide. It's quite confusing, to be honest. You can go from selling 12 books in a day to 60, and just up and down like that all the time. There's absolutely no kind of average that can even be taken. You know, an average across a week you would expect to be fairly consistent, but it's just not. It's one week I can do 100 sales, another week I can do 500 sales. It doesn't make any sense when the stock is very consistent. So need to work out what to do with that one, but it is a bit frustrating. So for example, last week, slow all week, possibly the worst week all year, which means this week I'm not able to actually go out and pick up anything fresh with the eBay fees that have come off, it being the start of the month, postage costs. It's actually left us with zero income beyond paying the necessary. I think I've managed to pick up maybe 15 books with the money that's left over, which is, you know, useless. I should have picked up 300 on Monday, and I couldn't because quite simply the funds weren't there. And the funds for that, you're talking maybe 70–80 £, but even that isn't there because the sales are so erratic, and always got to leave some sort of a cushion, because if they continue to collapse and they just disappear, which is a real potential risk at the moment, then there's not going to be anything to be paying the bills as the month goes on. So there's got to be a bit of caution around that. Make sure not to go too far. What am I packing right now? There's a bundle of little kind of Disney minifigure cake topper things. I found a crate of them a couple of months ago for a £5, and I've just been, you know, parted up the box into different character groups, etc. So I think I got maybe 11 or 12 different sets out of it, and the first lot sold off very quickly for £10 to £15 each, and that's the last one going for a tenner. So something I do still keep my eyes out for. All those little bully, I think they're called, and similar minifigs, because they do sell well. SO16 these are going to. And I just need my box measurements. So yes, eBay has been very frustrating of late. I say, not having any idea what income might be over the course of a week or even a month makes it very difficult to kind of plan how to keep the business ticking over when it's been, I mean, for 2 or 3 weeks it's been well below what's actually needed to take any kind of a salary from the business. So that means that anything that's coming in, it just cannot be risked to the exam. Yeah. A wet book. Luckily it's not one that's sold. Yeah, aye, got to keep every penny by, just in case sales continue as badly as they are. There has to be some hope that the bills can be paid. Anyway, next we have, what does that say? SW15 Michael Connolly. 3 Michael Connolly paperbacks. He's sent out. Yeah. Wrap them up. Still no pain, this is good. What did I say these were going to? SW15. Down south somewhere, really. Yeah, so big plans for the videos over the coming weeks, and let's see, this last week has been blown out the water, so I'm going to try and get back on track this week. I had a how-to video planned for getting out today. I'll see what my condition's like once I've finished with all of this and done my post office run, and if I'm able to sit comfortably for a little while, I'll still do that, but I may not be able to. I shall get what I can when I can. 1,000 grams, actually no, that's a lie, it's not 1,000, it's 990, which could make a difference to the postage. Where did I say it was going? SW15, I said that about 5 times. And its measurements are 33, 14 by 12. 33, 14, 12. Yeah, so using Yodel Every, oh man, it's frustrating, it's a pain. If it was only saving me, you know, a few pounds to be honest, I wouldn't even be bothering, because it's just a complete hassle getting all the labels sorted out, and it takes hours for them to appear in the bulk listing thing, so you have to go and tweak bits and pieces to get them to actually show up, and it's really almost more trouble than it's worth. At normal prices, although it's cheaper, it's just not worth it for the majority. It just takes so much longer. But like I say, with sales being so poor, I'll take every penny I can get at the moment. Because with sales being poor, I don't have much time needed for packing, etc. With sales being so poor, as I've said, I can't afford to go and pick up any new stock, so I'm not using that time. So if I'm not picking up new stock, I've got a lot less that I can list. I've maybe got 100, 150 books to list at the moment. It's just I always try and keep a wee backlog to allow for situations where maybe I can't source for whatever reason. So we'll get them out. But they're all individual titles, none of the big selling bundle titles or the fast selling bundle titles that I normally have. So there's no guarantees that getting those listed will generate any extra sales in the short term. So with all of this, it leaves me with more time to spend messing about trying to use the eBay delivery instead of the Royal Mail delivery. But I would rather be making money. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. It might turn around. And if it doesn't, well, what can you do? That's just what it is. WD18. And its measurements are, see, even this is more of a faff. Well, this takes extra time. 26 by 15 by 11. Now, these little extra steps do not continuously improve the process. If anything, they handicap the process. Coffee. Oh, that was good. Right, we've got 4 things left to do, and the first of those 4 is Red War by Vince Flynn. And backed up. Snippety snip, snippety snip, snippety snip. Blankety blank stuff on my head, and I don't know why. Right, Vince can go into one of the remaining eBay bags. I've got a couple of days left, need to get more ordered. My vouchers will be there because it's the start of the new month, but I need to wait for a day when I've actually got the extra £1.40 needed to place the order on top of the voucher. And 4 days into the month, that has yet to happen, so that tells you just how bad sales have been. You know, stocks increased by 15% over the last month, and sales have dropped by 30%. Go figure. And I have amended prices on items. I've brought prices down to try and make them as competitive as possible, but it doesn't seem to make any difference whatsoever. Had a couple of big sales over the last week. What was this Vince Flynn book? £100 for one book. A couple round about the 40-50 mark. Without those, then we would already be out of business, which is really quite despairing, as I've got nearly 5,500 books sat on my shelves. But if I can't sell them, I'll just need to get rid of them. PR2. So, a couple to go. Yeah, I mean, the one thing is, I started this with like £80 that I raised from selling a few things on Vinted rather than even eBay. So I'm not out of pocket on anything. I've got a room, more than 2 rooms full of stock, most of the books. If I needed to redonate that and to just get rid of it and clear it out, the only thing that's going to cost me is the time it takes to transport several thousand books to a charity shop. So whatever happens, I'm not out of pocket from that point of view, but I need to make a living, so let's hope it doesn't come to that. But anyway, it's always fun to do what you enjoy. BN23 is where 5 DVDs are going. A wee bunch of musicals. Strangely, the DVDs were my biggest individual listing, if that makes sense, seller last month, which is really worrying. Pretty much the same as they always are, but usually sit outside the top 10 for volume sold off of individual listings. But they were number 1 because everything else just died. I've looked through, the sold history of particular items, and there's probably been a slight variation, across the whole of eBay, a downward slant for the number of people buying on the site for the different things that I sell, but not, it might be 1 or 2% down for the stuff that I sell, the books, yet my sales have dropped on those particular items by 60 or 70%. A few times I've gone searching and my stuff hasn't shown up, and on the front page I don't go digging deep because the organic listings will be there somewhere, but they could be 4 or 5 pages down at that point. But the promoted listings are not appearing where I expect them to appear, and I have to search and search again just to get them to actually show up. So I don't know if that's just on my browser or if others are experiencing the same and therefore just not finding my listings, which for me, I can keep looking because I know they're there, but people who are just browsing don't know what isn't there, they only know what is there, so I could be missing out on a lot there, or people are just buying elsewhere. Things change, things can change very, very quickly, and that's why you need as much data and keep looking at things as often as possible, so that when things do change, you can try and investigate why and understand what is going on. Right, next up we have a bundle of Peter Robinson. So Peter Robinson, I've got 40, 50 Peter Robinson books. They've never sold. Never. No, not sold one of them, ever. The last 3 days, 2 bundles. Another strange one in itself. I just need to go and grab them quickly. Leaving things at the wrong end of the house. There we go, 5 lovely Peter Robinson paperbacks. So, we'll get these. Where are they going? Did I say where they were going? I don't know if I said where they're going. TA24. Get them stepped up. And then shipped off to TA24. That's nearly done. 10 orders, 2 of which were nothing to do with my usual sales. 1 one DVD, so 7 book orders in 24 hours, and quite a few of them singles. It's just, what are you going to do? It's like maybe 15 to 20 pounds profit for over the course of the day, which that barely pays the gas, lecky and food bills for the day. It's assuming that it turns into enough money to tax, it barely pays anything. So yeah, a bit concerning, a little bit worrying, and just have to hope that things begin to pick up. Which, into quarter 4, so should slowly expect that there'll be some increases coming in sale volume, but with an eye on after that period's and over. January's usually quite good, but once we get back into February, what did I say, TA24, expecting sales to plummet back down to where they are at the moment, which means needing an uplift, like 500% uplift in sales in November and December to allow for poor sales for the rest of the year, which is obviously not likely or sustainable, which means a different tack is required. I do still need more space to really take on any extra stock. I can box stuff up and dig it out to list it as and when I've got the space to properly store it, so I can gather up a few thousand bits and bobs doing that. The Accident by Diane Ho. It's the last sale of the day. But I can't risk having money tied up when there's bills to be paid. If it appears that it's unlikely that that stock is actually going to sell at any point on this platform. I'm still slowly trying to build up my own sales point, so my own site. I'm trying to get the logistics of that worked out before spending a load of time adding thousands of books to it. The key logistical concern is how do I efficiently and effectively unlist items from it that sell on eBay and vice versa, because I really don't want to get caught out on that one. It has to be something that can be done very quickly and not, ideally you do jobs like that once a day. Alright, here's 50 things that I need to take off and others. You sit down for 20 minutes, half an hour, ping, 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 they're all done. But if stuff's selling, I think things tend to go out in kind of like little trends. SS11 for this little book. So it needs to be a function that as soon as something sells, I can get on and get it unlisted from wherever else it has been. 25 by, what is it? I forgot my numbers already. 13 by 3. So yeah, as soon as anything's happening with that, I shall share. It will be slightly cheaper than buying on eBay, because you're not having to pay out nearly half of what you take in fees. That will depend on just what kind of advertising costs I want to push into it, although at the moment there will be no funds available for advertising. It would have to be just the kind of the word of mouth, people who have bought stuff through eBay dropping in notes so that they can then go and find more on the website and for better prices rather than on eBay, and we'll see how that works out, but it's going to take a while. There's no other way to see it. Anyway, that's all I have got to put out today. So, like I say, really bad day. Again, total sales £103. It's not good, man. Not good. That means about half of that's going on eBay fees, and it'll be another £30-ish on postage. So yeah, not great. But we keep cracking on because I love books. Anyway, love you. See you later. Bye.